Hi guys, in this video we're going to create a mixed media piece of artwork. First we're going to use watercolors to create a surface that we're later going to draw on top of. To get started we're going to need paper. Thick or heavy paper works best, but you can use anything that you have at home on hand. We'll also need watercolors to paint our surface, and if you don't have watercolor paints, we can also create the same effect with magic markers, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Some other supplies that we're going to need are a paintbrush, a cup of water, a pencil to draw very lightly, and some kind of fine point pen. Ballpoint pens work just fine, and most of you will have those at home. Once we create our watercolor surface, you're going to have to look for images that you'd like to recreate or draw for on top of your surface. I like to use Google Images and Pinterest, as they're both great resources to find references for drawings. Just type in your idea and just look through them. You can also draw something from real life. Let's get started. Start by getting yourself a piece of paper. I have two so I can show you different compositions that you can use. The first one I'll use the whole piece of paper. The second I sketch myself a triangle to paint inside of it. If you'd like, you can use tape to keep your edges clean. For this first piece, I'm going to try and keep the paint within my taped off composition and blend my color. For the next piece, I'll be using the whole surface to paint on. First I brush water onto the surface to paint on top of. This process is called wet on wet. Once I applied paint to my entire surface, I brushed water on top once again, then blotted some areas I wanted to make lighter with a paper towel. After giving them some time to dry, this is how my two surfaces turned out. The first one had a natural brushed edge. The triangle composition ended up bleeding a bit, but I like the way it came out, so I'm still going to use it. If you don't have watercolor paints, you can use markers, a paintbrush, and some water for a similar effect. Once you choose your color scheme, just start making blocks of color on your paper. When you've colored the paper how you want to, take a wet paintbrush and begin blending colors. It will begin to make a paint-like effect. Now that my surfaces are dry, I chose 3 different drawings and lightly sketched them on top. Remember to sketch really light so when you go back with the pen, it will be easily erased and it won't look messy. The last step is to take your fine tip pen and trace your sketch. Take your time and follow your lines closely. And here are my final products. I hope you guys have fun creating.